Putting you while you're off, so I'm standing face Jerusalem. Blessing of the Sabbath. Barak Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh, Yashrei, Nathan Lanawe, Hashabak, Bashalawam, the water, Amen. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the Sabbath and peace. Thank you, so be it. The Aliyah Ma'az Sharai Machad, Psalms 121. Yalkanan. Anya Harayam, Mayim Ye, Oh Harim, Mayan, Yabawa Zarye, Yabawa Mayahu, Shai, Shemayim, Warataza, La Yanathan, Lamawat, Ragalia, Yala Yanawam. Shashramarka Hanala Yanawam Wala Yashan Shashramar Yashrele Yahweh Shamaria Yahweh Tazalia Ayod Ya Yim Ya Yawamam Hashamash La Hakaya Wayarak La Balayala Yahweh Yashamaria Makal Rai Yashamar Napashya Yahweh Yashamar Habalakya Wabawa Aya My Fa Wa Aid I Willam Basham Yahweh the water Amen.
Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
Amen. Shemaiah Sharala, hero Israel. Shemaiah Sharala, Yahweh, 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 Shemaiah Sharala, Yahweh, Yahweh, Shemai Yashrele Yahweh Elohim Yahweh Akhed.
Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thapalaya How, the Lord's Prayer. Abinawa Shabashamayim Kodash Hayya Shamka Yahweh Malakwaka Saba'a Ratazawanka Hayya Aisha Barataza Kabashamayim Nathamanawa Lacham Yawam Zad Wasalak Nawa Kabawat Nawa Kasalak Nawa Kabawat Yanawa Wala Abiyanawa O Nasayawan Abo Hawashinawa Marai Kaya Laka Hamalakwa Wa'ala Wathaparat Waiwalam Maman.
Matthew 6 and 9. After this manner therefore pray, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Amen. Ha'ai the Ten Commandments. La'ad Yahayat Lakad Alahayim Akharim Alpanyat La'ad Thaishad Lakad Pasod Wala'ad Thaibadam La'ad Thalakwaka Shamwad Yahweh Alahayaka Lashawat Zakar Ath Hayawam Hashabath La Kodashwad Kabad Abiyaka Wa Amaka La Ab Tharatazak La Ab Thana'at La Ab Thaganab La Ab Thainad Shakur La Ab Thachamad Ko Asherab La Ra'ika Amen.
Exodus 22. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third or fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and holiday. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Amen.
Amen. Yeshabah, be seated. Barakathe Hawa by Shimi Hawa Shai, Asharanat and the now Paria Gapan Thawada Aman. La Yahwa by Shimi Hawa Shai, Ath Yashar Allah. Amadwa, Panyua Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem. Barakathe Yahweh, Haggadah, Rakawam, Abiyah, Wanawa Aliyawan, Malak, Shamayim, Waratiza, Wako, Dabarium, Kayayim, Wagam, Hamashiach, Mayahawa, Arawanawa, Habnawa, Hapala, Yawaitiza, Yahawasha, Zakarnawa, Yahawa, Bartazawan, Ainka, Yash Allah, Zarnawa, Bana, what's up? Yash Allah, oh, Nanawa, Yum Yum, Aita, Kayawamyam, Makwadam, Babakusha, Shalak, Mike Allah, Watazwadak, Alahayam, La, Maganawa, Rapharnawa, Washama, Ionawa, Bakwa, Shalak, Haruka, Shao, Yahweh, Lanawa, Lamadnawa, Rabiam, Kakama, Tabawana, what I Shao, the Barka, Basham, Yahweh, the what them yet, why will Aman. English translation, blessed are you, Yahweh, the great, merciful, mighty, terrible, most high power, King of heaven and earth and all things living, and also the anointed from Yahweh, our Lord, our friend, the wonderful counselor, Yahweh Shai. Remember us, Yahweh, favorably your people Israel. Help us build and gather Israel, most high, we beg you. Right now, like the days of old, please send Michael and the righteous powers to protect us, heal us, and watch over us. Mainly send the spirit of Yahweh Shai to us to teach us much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of thy word. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, always and forever, so be it. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us the law. By Hashem Yahweh Shai, Asherat, Nathan Lanawa, Hathawarat. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us light to see. Barakathe Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Asherat, Nathan Lanawa, Awar, Lara Awat. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakathe Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Asherat, Nathan Lanawa, Quran, Ha'ayot, La Korah, Ha'ain. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel. Barakathe Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Asherat, Nathan Lanawa, Hasheman, Zayat, Lamashak, Yasha Allah, Yeshabwa, be seated. Okay, so Shalom Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom, everybody's here in the Philly school. Shalom, everybody watching us on the live stream, and Shalom, everybody listening in on teleconference. Welcome to High Yasharala Kanas, or the Congregation of Israel, where we teach that the so-called Black, Latin, Native Americans are indeed the 12 tribes of Israel, and that we fall into a low state, politically, economically, even culturally, because we broke the laws of God found in the Bible given to us by Moses. That we fall into by turning back to these commandments we broke by following Jesus Christ as our example, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. So today, as we celebrate every week from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, is the Sabbath of the Lord, and as regularly scheduled, we go through a Sabbath reading. So today's reading is going to be in Revelation, again, chapters 10 and 11. Once again, Revelation chapter 10 and 11 is going to be our reading for today. So picking up on a prophecy we read about before and seeing the next visions that are going to be revealed to John and how it pertains to now our history and current events, but it was still prophecy to John when he was given the vision for the time that it was referred to. So my name is Nabia Zerubbabel. I'll be doing the service today. And for your records, you can just write down, today is June the 10th, 2017, according to the Gregorian calendar. But according to our calendar, it's the third month and the 17th day, if you've been keeping track since the new moon. The third month and the 17th day, according to our calendar. So Revelation chapter 10 and chapter 11. Okay, so with that, let's begin. So first we'll read it in the Hebrew, and then we'll get the sense in the English. So now this is Revelation chapter 10 and verse 1 in the Hebrew.
Michael, on the top of the page, right? You say Yahukanan. What is the first word mean? Has one.
I'm not sure. What does it say on what does it say at chapter 1 in the beginning? What would make sense to me is probably some word that means to reveal or to open. That's what makes sense to me, since it's in English called Revelation. But yeah, I have a concordance up here if you wanted to use it. You could look up the word and see what it says. So this is Revelation chapter 10 in verse 1. And it reads, Wa'ara'a mala'ak akhar aviyar yawarad man hashemayim wa hawa'a aita ainan wa ayo ra'ashwa kamara'a kwashaf ha'ainan wa panyawa kashamash wara golyawa ka'ima wad ya ash. 2. Wa bayadwa sapar kwatan pathawak waya sham af rago yashyanwa ayo hayam wa af shama awowa ayo ha'arataza. 3. Waya kora bakwo garawo ka'ashara yasha'ag ha'araya, the lion, waba korawa debarwa shaba'if hara aimyam bakwa Walathyahan 4. Waka Debar Shaba'if Hara Aimyam Bakwa Lathyahan Kapataz Thea Lakathab wa Ashamai Kwawo Man Hama Ha Shamayam La Amar Oya Katham Katha Kathawam Ath Ashara Dabarwa Shaba'ith Ha Da'anyan Wala'a Thakathab Za'at 5. Waha Mala'ak and the angel. Ashara Ra'ayat Yawa Hayam Wa'il Ha'arataza Harayam Yadwa O Hashemayim 6. Wayashabai Bachaya Iwalamya Ha'ai Walamyam Ashara Bara'ath Hashemayim Wako Ashara Baham Rataza Wako Ashara Baha Wahayam Wako Ashara Bawakaya La'a Yahya Iwad Zaman 7. Ak Bayawamya Hawo Hamala Ak Ha Shaba Yaya Ba'aith Imadwa La Thakwa Y Wana Shalom Sawad Ha Alahayam Bashar Ath Ibadyawa Hana Ba Yayan, the prophets. 8. Wahakwa Wo Asherah Shemaithia Man Hashemayim Shab Ladabar Oya La Amar Lak Wakwak Af Ha Sapar Ha Kwatan Ha Pathawak Asherah Bayad Hamala Ha Ha'imad Al Hayam wa Ayla Ha'arataza 9. Wa Aba'a O Hamala'ak Wa Amar Lawa Thanalaya Ath Hasapar Waya Amar Oya Kwak Wa Ko Afwa Wa Wayamar Laba Tanka Abo Babyaka Yahya Mathawak Kadabash 10. Wa Kwak Af Ha Sapar Mayad Ha Mala'ak Wa Akalawa Wa Yahya Bapaya Kadabash Lashatha White Wa Akoya Afwa Waya Mala Batanya Mar Warium. Verse 11. Ya Amar Oya Ilyaka La Shawab Laha Naba Iwad Il Anyam Wa Gawoyam Wala Shanwap Wama Lakyam Rabyam. Okay. So that was Revelation chapter 10 in the Hebrew first. So now what we'll do is we'll go into Revelation 10 in the English now, and give the sense and cause all to understand the reading as the Holy Spirit will allow. So now this is Revelation chapter 10 in verse 1. Revelation chapter 10 in verse 1. Everybody has it? Okay. So Revelation 10 and 1, it reads, "And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was above upon his head, and his face as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth." So now, this particular angel that we're seeing, or this messenger, this is actually a depiction of Yahushua Mashiach being manifested. And there's certain clues we see that he has that even connect him with the Most High, especially when we see the rainbow about his head. But especially when it talks about how he had one foot upon the sea and one foot upon the earth, right? This signifies him what? Having supreme authority, right? He rules over land and sea. But also, even in Ezra's vision, he sees a similar vision of Christ manifest himself, and you'll see the same depiction of him standing on the water and the earth, and for his might and authority. So to link with verse 2 of Revelation chapter 10, go to 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, verse 2. This links with verse 2. You want to link 2nd Esdras chapter 13. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to pull this one later. Oh, you know what? I want to pull this, but not right now. Salakia. That was here too. Salakia. So let's go back to Revelation chapter 10, and let's continue on. Because this is Revelation chapter 10, we're going to read on in verse 3. It's Revelation chapter 10 in verse 3. It says, "And he cried with a loud voice as when a lion roareth, and when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices." He cried with a loud voice. It says, when a lion roared, right? So we see a likeness here being made to a lion, right? So another comparison to Yahushua. What we can connect now, let's do this for verse 3. So for Revelation chapter 10 in verse 3, we read it already. We can also connect this with Revelation chapter 5 in verse 5. So in Revelation 10 and 3, connect Revelation 5 and 5. I'll read this one. So Revelation chapter 5, verse 5, it says, "And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof." Right? So this referring to Christ. He's called the Lion of the tribe of Judah. It says the root of David, right? Because on both his father and mother's side, he came from King David. And you go into the family lines, and you see them described in Matthew, the 1st chapter, and Luke, the 3rd chapter. Right? It was prophesied that the house of David would give rise to the Christ. We see this comparison being made to the lion, as we know the lion also not only pertains to Judah, but we see it's attached to Judah as well, even going back to Genesis, when Jacob gave the prophecy for his 12 sons, what they would be doing in the last days and what would come out of their family lines, what they would experience in the earth. Also, for the voice, let's go back to Revelation chapter 1. Of course, you remember this. Revelation chapter 1, going into Yahushua, right? Verse 15. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 15. Which reads, "And his feet like unto fine brass," you read above, is talking about Christ, "and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace." It says, "and his voice is the sound of many waters." Right? So many waters makes a lot of sound. So you see his voice being likened to being very loud. In Revelation 10, you see here it's using a different metaphor, but also going into the loudness of his voice. But then also, to link with Revelation 10 and 1, you could even use this here, Revelation chapter 1, verse 16. So you can link this with Revelation 10 and 1. Certain characteristics in the vision, you'll see it'll recur. And if you can connect the dots, you can see, oh, okay, see, this is talking about the same person because it's using the same image or the same idea. And then, of course, context, when you weigh it with other things that are there in that verse. So you can link Revelation 1 and 16 with Revelation 10 and 1. So Revelation 1 and 16, it says, "And he had in his hand," referring to Christ, "7 stars." See that? So we see the significance of the number 7, right? There's 7 days in a week, right? Joshua marched around Jericho 7 times on the 7th day, marched 7 times, and he sounded with the trumpet 7 times. So you see that number 7 come up quite often. 7 archangels in heaven, right? They're on the right hand of the Most High under Christ. That number come up. Just like we see the 7 thunders thundering, right? All just images for righteousness, right? The reading on it says, "And out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword, and his countenance," or his face, "was as the sun shineth in his strength." That's why I want to connect that with verse 1 as far as going to his face being like it was the sun, his face shining forth, which the scriptures tell you that what wisdom causes a man's face to shine, just like it did for Moses when he was up on the mount. 40 days and nights, he had to put a veil over his face, right? So all just more clues showing you that this is just a representation of Christ here we're reading about in Revelation 10. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 Ezra 2:43.
Come, what are you linking that with?
10 and 2. Can I read 10 and 2? read it?
You're gonna
Yeah, 2nd Ezra 2 verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted at greatly. To show that he's taller than everybody else, you know. He has authority.
Okay.
And by he putting crown upon their heads, I mean he has authority over them, and he's putting crown upon their head.
Kind of, do you want to read any more? You just, is that it?
Larger than life.
Kind of, that's to did you want to read down further? That was it. That was only verse?
Yeah. You want me to read further?
No, it's up to you. I
Okay,
was making sure. Okay, comes. That links with verse 1.
2.
Oh, verse 2. All right, so link Revelations 10 and 2 with 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verse 43. 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 43. All right. So let's go back to Revelations 5 and let's continue on. So Revelation chapter 10. In verse 4 now it says, and when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. Right? So, when it comes to certain things, it's up to the Most High's discretion to say, yes, part of this vision can be revealed to the nation at large. Some can only be shown to elders. Others can only be shown to just you, right? So we see that in different situations where when the Most High would show a vision, that it wouldn't just all be imparted to everybody. So let's continue on.
Where we at?
We're in verse 5. Revelation chapter 10 and verse 5.
Revelation?
Chapter 10. And verse
chapter 43?
and chapter 11 as well.
11? Hold on.
We should be in the knowledge of what we're going to read the following week, right?
Well, I got it, Revelation chapter 10 and 11. All right, in my book.
And I'll make sure to repeat the reading for the following week.
What you have so far in
So we're at verse 4.
Huh?
We just read verse 4.
Verse 4 in Revelation?
Mm-hmm.
How about in link up with it?
Oh, we can cover that during the break.
I can get you saying. So this is Revelation chapter 40.
Right. So Revelation chapter 10, verse I'll read 5 now. It says, And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven. Right? So, like we saw above, we went into him standing upon the heaven and the earth and the sea, right? Just to convey that that authority. As that was even something that the other nations used too, when they would have different nations come to them to pay homage or respect when they had authority. They would say, "Give me an offering of earth and water," right, in a vessel, which symbolically represented they had authority over the land and the seas, right? Where you had, commerce that was done, travel, and the resources that both land and sea yield. So now it's going into Christ having that authority in the earth, right? Because we know he has it in heaven, but now it has to be realized his authority in the earth, and it's at hand. It says, he lifted his hand to heaven, verse 6, and swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are therein. I like this too, because it shows you that Christ and the Most High, they can't be the same. Because people oftentimes, when they say, we talk about Jesus, right, which is Yahushua in the Hebrew, God, he's God the Father, he's God the Son. And it shows they don't understand what the word God means, one, and two, it shows you that they think that the Heavenly Father and Christ are the same entity, right? But now, how can that be if he's doing this? And like we always do during the holy days, the Sabbath notwithstanding, we go through the Lord's Prayer, which Christ gives us. And he starts off by saying, Our Father. I always say, why would he say that if he is the Most High? Is he a schizophrenic? Like, what's going on? Yahushua doesn't have any mental issues. So why is he saying Our Father, talking about himself? Just doesn't make sense. So yeah, that doctrine remains, sadly, as we see time and time again we go out and teach. But anyway, reading on, Revelation chapter 10, I'll read verse 6 again. It says, and swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are therein, and the things that therein are, and the earth, Brakatha, and the things that are therein are, and the sea, and the things that are therein, that there should be time no longer, right? So all the creation that we know about, right, that we read about in Genesis, he's declaring it all that the time is at hand, right? No more time to waste as it comes time for what? More of these seals are being unleashed or open, and more events to take place, leading to what? The culmination of and coronation of Christ, right? Which has been long overdue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at? Revelation chapter 10, 6.
Yeah, now I'm in 7.
Okay.
It says in verse 7, but in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of power should be finished, as he had declared to his servants the prophets, right? And having that significance, this 7 angels sounding is showing what? The completion of these seals being unleashed, I should say, open, and then the different events taking place to fulfill the Most High's will, leading up to Christ's second coming. And it's been shown to us as we now have eyes to see it, ears to hear it, and a heart to understand it. Whereas before we may have thought we were Gentiles, right? Where now we see, wow, we are the children of Israel. And he has revealed it to some of us. It says in verse 8, and the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel, which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. So we read this before. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. So we see this image also given to Ezekiel. It's a link of Revelation chapter 10, verse 8 and 9. Let's go to Ezekiel.
10 and 9.
8 and 9.
Oh, 8 and 9. Okay.
Actually, 8 all the way down to 10. Because 10 is going to say he's going to actually do it. It's going to happen the same way that the angel said.
Ezekiel what?
Ezekiel Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 8 first, and then we'll read Ezekiel chapter 3 verses 1 to 3.
1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. And not the quiet. You can read that, Baba Kushah, first Ezekiel 2 and 8, and then we'll jump down to 3. We would appreciate it.
And this name off of 8, right?
8 to 10.
Do we read 8 to 10?
No, but when you read 10, you'll see it's dealing with the same thing. That I'm eating the little book and how it tastes. It's all connected.
So Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3.
No, chapter 2, verse 8. And then we're going to go to 3, 1 to 3.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 8.
No, chapter 2, verse 8.
Verse 8.
Yes, 2. Verse 8.
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 8. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like the rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat.
Right. So he's telling Ezekiel, don't be rebellious like the rest of the children of Israel. Hearken unto me. Just like then you had, and just like then you had now. I mean, just like now you had then. Israel that didn't want to listen to the Most High's word, right? Due to blindness or rebelliousness, right? We know the rebelliousness had to come first. That will what? Bring about the curse of blindness. From Deuteronomy 28, I think it's verse 28, he says that what one of the curses he would put upon our people was what? Madness, blindness, astonishment of heart, right? Able to see who you are, see the way you're supposed to go. When at one point when you did know, you willingly went against it. So he's saying, don't be like that, Ezekiel. And I'm going to give you something to eat. So let's find out what this thing is he's going to eat. And we're going to compare it to what's going on with John in Revelation.
Ezekiel 3 and 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
Right, so he's telling them to eat this roll, right? This isn't like a bread roll, right? This is going into a roll like how we do the prayers with the scroll. Sometimes you have them long like this. You can even have them shorter too at times, right? Because there's other visions where prophets will refer to certain things as like a roll, like a flying roll, right? As far as comparing things they see in visions with things that they're familiar with in their time frame, right? So like you also see like rolls that can be like this. You just kind of roll out the message, or you read either it's like could be a small message, it could be an actual book, as opposed to a book with like a binding. We use the books like this,
Read this book.
but we have books like this too. So the roll here is like a book that we're reading about in Revelation. It serves the same purpose. It's just shaped differently. You see, this has information, right? Just like this has information. A little bit confused. What's going on? Yeah.
All right, the roll, when you talking about the flying roll, was that a book or was that a spaceship?
That was actually a ship. That's why I was just making an indirect reference to it.
Oh, okay.
The,
Get up to the ship. The flying roll, that was a ship.
The flying roll was a ship.
And they had words on the side of the ship.
Don't think the verse says.
What's that?
I don't think the verse says. I don't think the verse says, doesn't say.
Yeah, it said that's the curse. This is the curse that go out something.
Yeah, as far as like writing on it,
Yeah.
doesn't say.
Oh, they were just saying that this is the curse.
Mm-hmm.
This ship flying down. Really, I guess it was expressed.
So I don't want to take us off track. I was just using that as like a comparison to when we talk about a roll. We don't think in our current mind frame, oh, a roll like a roll for bread. You know, it's just referring to a book.
Again, Revelation was in Ezekiel.
Well, he's being shown a similar vision because remember, prophets that happen sometimes. Like Ezra may be shown the same thing that Daniel was shown, but it may be just depicted slightly different, but referring to the same event. Sometimes it's the same exact image. Like John and Daniel both saw a vision of Christ, right? And they both saw visions of the Most High on his throne too. Right, as we read in the previous chapters of Revelation. But that's what this roll is talking about. So it says, as you read, eat this roll, go speak unto the house of Israel. So read on in verse 2, Baba Kushan.
So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did eat it. Then did I eat it. In my mouth as honey for sweetness.
Right, so the same idea, right? And we look at this this image, we think about how it was when we ate that roll, right? Because the Most High will have the prophets do symbolic gestures at times, right? As far as you do a certain thing, but supposed to represent something else, right? So him eating this roll, right? Food for thought, right? Information. Just say we talk about the Garden of Eden, right? It's not going into them, going to the farmer's market and taking stuff off the trees. It's talking about knowledge, right? Food for thought. So the same thing with this here, right? Right. So this gesture represents what? Us taking in knowledge. And just like today, when we take in the knowledge of the truth, it's sweet, right? It's a blessing. It's like, wow, you mean to tell me we were God's people, this, that, and the third all this time? I had no idea.
Okay.
I'm God's chosen. This world said I was nothing. 3/5, right? Last hired, first fired. Now I know why. Now I know why they got a, media campaign against us, in all ways. I see it now. But as you consider it and as you go through it for quite some time, then it becomes what? As it goes down, as you digest it, then it becomes bitter in the stomach because now it's like, dang, now you realize all the things that you are supposed to be doing now, you think about, dang, all the things that haven't been doing all this time and all those others. And everybody else in Israel, look at all the stuff that they're doing and how it set us back so far, right? Even Solomon talks about this, right? It's like a bittersweet thing, learn the truth. It's sweet initially, but then it becomes bitter when you consider the ramifications of all of it. When we don't keep it, it can bring one down. It can make someone, sad even. Like while you appreciate what you do know, you're just like, man, I can't believe all this time I've been living a lie, right? Or doing the wrong thing. And almost like all this time wasted. It's easy to look at it as almost all this time wasted. But it's also supposed to be this big lesson that the Most High wants us to learn over the generations. That's why even Solomon says this. You can link this as well. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 17, 18. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 17 and 18. If you could read that too, Baba Kushan. I would appreciate it. This still linking with Revelations 10, 8 to 10.
Revelation 18.
I'm saying it's linking with the same thing.
8 to 10, right?
It's the same link as Ezekiel.
Ecclesiastes.
I don't want folks thinking we're linking this with a different verse.
Which one you want me to read now?
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verses 17 and 18.
Chapter 1. That's chapter 1.
Right.
Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 17. And I gave mine heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. This also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
You see that? So even Solomon, going into what was shown him, he gave his heart to know wisdom. But at the same time, he gave himself to know madness and folly, because think about it. As you learn what you're supposed to do, at the same token, you learn all the things you're not supposed to do. And you look around you, look at history, look at current events, you see, oh my goodness, this is the valley of the shadow of death. People of authority in the earth pushing vanity, foolishness, lies, right? Destroying the people from the inside out. Because, you know, it takes a sane person to, you know, really truly acknowledge that which is insane, right? Just like they say with, psychology, they say the difference, you know, between the sociopath and the psychopath, right? With a psychopath, there's no morality there, right? As far as what he or she is doing, being right or wrong, whereas a sociopath, they acknowledge the immoral behavior. They acknowledge that it's wrong, but, you know, they still do it anyway.
In reference to the bitterness, the sweetness, you know, the blessings and the curses and stuff. I just want to read out Exodus chapter 1, verse 13 and 14. Exodus chapter 1, verse 13. Exodus chapter 1, verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Okay. So it was Exodus chapter 1, 13 and 14. So back in Revelation chapter 10. Now read verse 10. So we didn't read it yet. It says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand, similar to Ezekiel being given the roll, right? Just like a book has the information, in this context, information about the truth. The roll did as well. And ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I eaten it, my belly was bitter. Right? So like I said, it's the wisdom of the Most High is bittersweet, because like I said, as you learn all the things you should do, at the same time you learn about all the things you shouldn't do. And you look at yourself and others in the nation, bring one pretty low. You look at all the things that have happened, and now you understand why. Right? You have that clarity. Then the hope comes that, yeah, Lord, please do what you said. Have mercy upon at least 1/3 of us, even though we would hope that all of us will be willing to change our ways. But we know it's just not so. It's just not what's going to happen. Verse 11, and he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. Right? So we know everyone has to hear this message, but we know who the message is for. Let's make sure we don't get caught up in that stumbling block. You go into your past notes, you read Revelation 7, you'll see it there, where we go into when it says, yeah, people have every nation, kindred, and tongue. What it was talking about, it wasn't talking about, yes, we need to save people from all different nations, right? That's what the religions teach. But no, it's talking about what? Due to the curse, once again. That's why it's so important, that milk of who are we and why are we in a low state. We got to ask these questions time and time again when we deal with our people, right? Because we can talk about everything, but we don't talk about that. Like, that's the most important thing, right? Who are we? Why are we in the condition that we're in? Why do we go through what we go through? And of course, what do we do to get out of it? We have to ask our people those questions, because otherwise they won't understand verses like this. They won't understand why it says every nation, kindred, and tongue. They won't understand the curse the Most High said he would put upon us, as far as the agreement, the contract we have, our ancestors, to say, yeah, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm going to scatter you across the earth, right, and cause you to serve your enemies. You're going to serve other gods, which you never knew, wood and stone gods, and not me. And we can read that with eyes open, ears open. We can understand it. We say, oh, this is why we're in the condition that we're in. This is why we're all over the place, throughout the Americas and other places too. Now we see why they had to preach this to all these different places. It's just that, and understanding that contract goes a long way for you to understand, the deeper things of the scriptures. You have to understand the Most High deals with nations, and he has different agreements with different nations, right? Especially when it comes to his people, the children of Israel, right? That's the one that holds the highest importance. But the things he gave to us to uphold, that wasn't what he gave other nations, right? They all have different inheritances and roles that they play, but we have a special role we're supposed to play before him. And a lot of us, we're out of character. We don't know who we're supposed to be.
Yeah, in this verse too, it showed that John the Revelator, he was in the island of Patmos. He was in prison, and he probably died there. So this shows that at a later date, in the future, he's gonna come back again and prophesy.
Oh, God, that's what you're saying. When it says thou. Mm-hmm.
He was in prison. Yeah, I think he probably died there too.
I think most scholars say that. Maybe the Bible dictionaries. Mm-hmm. Kind of, that's a 2-hour point. So we come to the end of chapter 10. So what we'll do is we'll take a brief recess. It's a little bit after 11:30. So we'll reconvene. Let's see, 11:32 is going to go 11:33. We'll reconvene around, say, 12:04. So definitely feel free to use the bathroom, stretch out, get some sunshine if it's sunny where you're at, right? And then we'll talk to everybody for the second half of the service. So shalom, and then we'll talk to you then.